This is quite a location that I'm at right now. This is said to be the tallest bridge in Asia. I'm not sure that's true, that's what my host said. I don't think it is, but it's still very tall. And yeah, the cars driving below me at the high speed. I don't think I've stand on a place like this quite before. Yeah, South Korea. It's very beautiful actually, the nature. Much more than I expected. It's quite refreshing coming here from Southeast Asia, because the temperatures in Southeast Asia are just extraordinarily hot all the time, and here it's kind of like Europe. I think we're probably kind of Slovenia and South Korea are probably kind of the same distance away from the equator, so it makes sense. Yeah, so now it's raining a bit, but temperature is really good, maybe like 22 degrees now. So compared to Vietnam, from where I come from, was 42 or something the daily temperature the last few days, so it's kinda refreshing. Also the trees here, the nature, the forest, the hill, everything is European, the same vegetation. There's no palm trees and coconuts and mangoes and stuff, so it feels much more like home here. I just stumbled upon a very special fruit. I'm not sure what it's called in English, but we call it murva. It was the delicacy from in the Roman Empire. It's like this, like little berries, little black berries like this. Very sweet. They grow in Slovenia also, but it's kind of a forgotten fruit because almost nobody knows it, so it's very rare to see it. But I planted one maybe like a year or so ago. My buddy Dan and I were cycling around Slovenia and stumbled upon this fruit, but I wasn't quite sure it's the right thing, because I never seen it before that time, so I only read about it. But I told him I'm almost certain that's the one fruit, and let's try it, but he didn't want to. He didn't trust my judgment that it's the right fruit. But then luckily there was some guy there who we asked, and he confirmed that it was the one. So that was the first time we ate it right there, and it's really good. So that's the same thing, regarded as a delicacy also in Korea, I suppose, since it grows everywhere. Definitely not an expert in this fruit. So I'm really hoping I'm not mistaken and I'm eating the edible stuff. Otherwise, this would be my last video. But I'm pretty sure it's not. So in Korea, even in the public places like this, you have to take off your shoes to go to sit on a public bench. Very cool. Haven't seen that before. I just hiked the tallest mountain here in Yaro, the place that I've been volunteering for the 2 weeks. It's beautiful. So I'm staying with my host for one more day, and then I go to Seoul, where I'm doing couch surfing. Yes. Today I tried Korean bath for the first time. It was quite interesting. Probably I go again. And here I basically just do like a little bit of farm work and volunteering, construction work, because my host is a construction worker, so we go to build houses together, but nothing too intense. He gives me like easy jobs because he thinks I know nothing about construction, which is kinda true, so that's okay. So there's 3 of us who hiked the mountain, me and my host and another girl who is here to practice English with me, because she's going to America for 2 weeks to learn a bit of English on a Schnellkurs. Yeah, so before she goes, because I'm getting pretty famous in this small town now and everybody knows about me, so the family contacted my host that this girl would like to meet me and talk English with me, so that's what we're doing. But I hiked before them on this hill because they were very slow and they wanted to take break all the time, so I'm waiting for them here. And hopefully I'm in the right spot, because I obviously haven't been here before, and there are a few left and right and left and right, but I think I'm pretty good in navigating mountains, so I'm pretty sure they'll be here soon. Hopefully I'm on the right spot, so we will find each other. But yeah, it's a nice place. Yeah, Korea has, as I said, a surprising, beautifully surprising nature. I imagine just like a developed cities and concrete, which is a lot of that, but the rural areas are beautiful. Yes, and in this village I'm doing also a Kusondo class, which is my third martial art already. So Kusondo is an ancient Korean martial art, but it's not like a fighting type, so to me it's not that interesting. It's more of a inner spiritual breathing, stretching exercises, so not that special for me. I'm more into combat, but good to try to see everything, because my host is a Kusondo master, and in this town everybody, yeah, he runs these classes Kusondo, and he's kind of a elderly, like the wise man in this village, and people bring in gifts all the time and go visit, and we go visit, so it's a very cultural experience, because he's invited all the time everywhere, and I go with him. So we've been to so many houses, and almost everybody says that have never seen a foreigner before in this town, let alone host them in their house. And just today in the bathhouse there was a Buddhist monk. This was so interesting for me, because as far as I knew before, the nudity was a sin, forbidden in Buddhism, but apparently not. So at least not in Korea. So this was a Buddhist monk in this Korean bath house when everybody's naked. And he also said he's never seen a foreigner before here, and I thought in the bathhouse, but he said no, in this entire town. So pretty special. That's for me pretty. Yeah, I feel good about this place. I like to go to places that have never seen foreigner before, because it's more cool. And I've been many places like this, and every time it's in something new and different experience. So here we are at the actual peak. So before I didn't realize that the wall was not actually the peak, but there's a small road in the bushes, and then you come to the actual peak, and it's pretty beautiful. Just mountains all around us, almost like Slovenia. Yeah, mountains just really makes you feel free. I left the farm and now I'm going back to Seoul for the last 4 more days. I'm doing couchsurfing, and I just met 2 lovely travelers from Scotland who have been traveling together. When they met 40 years ago in their early 20s, for 8 months they backpacked together all around the world, and then they did it 10 years later, and now they're retiring and they're doing it again. That's a strong traveling bond. So cool. I'm at my couchsurfing host, and because we had some problems in the kitchen, and the whole kitchen had to be turned down because it was some leaking, we have to wash dishes in the bathroom. First time for everything. I found a peanut butter that expired 1 year ago. It's very dusty. But honestly, with some bananas, I think it's pretty good. still okay. Center of Seoul now, and I'm very excited because for the first time in 8 months I am finally meeting a Slovenian person, and first time I will speak face to face with a Slovenian, so that's super great. So basically my mom's friend has a friend who has a daughter who studies here in Seoul, and we agreed to meet, so we're meeting now. So for the first time after 8 months I'm gonna speak Slovenian face to face with somebody so it's gonna be great. Exciting for that. Even for the bus, everybody's waiting in lines like this. Everything's super organized. Very interesting contrast to the Southeast Asia. Going back to the house now. So yeah, I talked to this girl for like 2.5 hours. It was just a treat, just to hear my language again. We kind of just connected because the same Slovenian mind. So she's studying here architecture for 4 years already. So she's very used to this life. But I think she kind of wants to get out of Korea pretty soon. But it was so good, so good. That's a treat. On the bus to the airport now. So you're supposed to pay 9,000. So this bus airport is really expensive. I don't know why. I didn't expect that. So I only have 5 left. And first he didn't want to let me on the bus, but then I had to beg for a little bit, and then he did. So it's again the beauty about traveling. Sometimes it doesn't work out like we would like to or like we expect, but at the end it always turns out. So it's a good thing. Off to the airport now. There's nothing better than an international airport that has nowhere to change the language to English. In 2023, wow. Ay. We got through it. And of course it wouldn't be traveling if something didn't go wrong. So right now at the security, they threw away my torch, so the thing to surviving in nature that makes sparks. We were arguing for like 30 minutes because normally I don't argue with the border officials, with the security guards, because it causes trouble. But this time I had to, because this is the only airport in the world that doesn't allow this apparently. And I tried to explain that you allow for smoking the lighters that produce actual fire, and this is only sparks. But they said, yeah, we understand, we agree. He was really nice actually, but this is our rule or something like this. And then literally like 10 people got involved because nobody knew exactly, because it's a kind of a specific thing, not common. And then they had to, he asked him and he asked him, and then until we go higher and higher in the hierarchy until we found the top guy, and he said then no one. So I've had it for a few years now. Not that I've ever used it actually. But sometimes, well, the country that I'm going now, it maybe would be useful. But yeah, so they threw it out. And I've had it all over the world. Really, probably like more than 10 countries. Yeah. But okay, I made it through security, so thank God for that. At least still nothing beats the Philippines airport in Manila when they charged me 70 euros. So this Seoul Incheon, whatever, international airport only wins the number 2 spot on the worst airport. Airport is actually really good and nice and huge. They ride trains in the middle of the airport, not between the terminals, between the gates. Wow. Anyway, forget about this, and yeah, just it's over now, so it's good, it's okay. So that's it. That's it for the Korea. Overall, it had a blast. This airport kind of looked like an traditional European train station, but just newer. So I can now finally reveal where I'm going. So my next destination is this wild remote country. I'm going to Mongolia. So this is by far the most excited I've ever been about any country. I just sat in the boarding gate next to a baby, a Mongolian baby, and This is probably the first Mongolian I've ever seen. He was so well built, like almost muscular already, not fat. These Mongolians are a different kind of people. This Genghis Khan DNA surely does its thing, because Mongolian Empire was the biggest empire ever to exist in ruling. Obviously they have to be tough because they have -40 and +40 in the same time. Yeah, tough people, and DNA shows. I've never seen a baby like this before.